Okay, so in today's video, we've got a 50 question grammar quiz, C2 level. Really, really difficult. I think I haven't looked at the questions at all. I've had no time to prepare. So that's my excuse if I get any of these wrong. I am English. This is something I get asked. I'm doing these videos. I am, though it's sometimes hard to believe, I am English. And I get... I don't want to get any of these wrong, but 50 questions, and I think it gets progressively more difficult as we go further along the test. But let's just get started. I've seen this first question. I think I know the answer, so it's a good start. When I first came to Britain, it took me a long time to on the left. Yeah, to get used to driving on the left, I think is the correct option there. So just be careful I don't choose the wrong one. To get used to driving on the left. Yeah, to become accustomed to driving on the left. Yeah, it's the second option. Correct! Got to be really careful as well here because it's really tiny. I'm on my phone. If I press the wrong button, it gives me an incorrect answer. So there's another excuse I have. Yo, my finger slipped. Good start, 1 out of 1. Okay. Number 2. Okay, my daughter seemed to spend, and my daughter is planning to spend a year before university working in Australia. Seems to me to be a sensible idea. So yeah, it's a relative clause. Non-essential information, non-defining relative clause. Yeah, it has to be which after the comma. Yeah, 2 out of 2. No problem so far. I believe it gets more difficult. Actually, I'm not sure if it gets more difficult or if they're in random order, the questions, actually. So I'm not sure, but I think there are some more difficult ones coming. Yeah, that one's fairly easy, I think. Number 3. Number 3, it says, he escaped by a hair's breadth, the hair's breadth, the breadth of a hair, a breadth of a hair. Now, it's an expression which means by, breadth refers to how wide something is, no? So we say by a hair's breadth, by a very, very tiny amount. He only just escaped. He escaped by, we say another expression, he escaped by the skin of his teeth. Your teeth don't even have skin. That's how thin, that's how narrowly he avoided being caught. Yeah, 3 out of 3. No problem so far. Okay. Did you really understand all which he said, what he said, when he said, all that he said? Everything that he said, yeah. Has to be that. All that he said. Yeah, it's that. Definitely. Yeah. I'm starting to worry already. 4 out of 4 though, so pretty good. C2 students, I think, probably should be getting 4 out of 4 so far. Maybe the hair's breadth one was a bit difficult, but okay. 5. I rather you didn't tell my parents about this. So yeah, I would prefer it if you didn't. Yeah, it's got to be I would, no? I would rather you didn't tell my parents about this. Yeah. Got to be careful sometimes because, you got to read the tense rather of the questions and everything. It's really there's some real trick questions here, but okay. Number 6. We were at a disadvantage that we did not have a very good knowledge of the language the others were using. Yeah, because, so it's like we were at a disadvantage in that we did not have a very good knowledge of the language the others were using. Yeah, in the sense that, no? Yeah, that's the only possibility I think there. Yeah, good, okay. Number 7. I take great exception the implication that I was not telling the truth. I take you... so when you disagree with something, you can take exception... I wanted to say to, but now I've seen with. I take great exception to the implication that I was not telling the truth. Exception with. No, I disagree with. I take exception to. To, please be to. Yes! I forget. You know, I haven't lived in England for 12 years. So I'm like, I know I do still read and watch telly and everything in English, but God, you sometimes... I think it's just the pressure of a test. I left education a decade ago, more than a decade ago, and you're just not used to this pressure anymore. Anyway, 7 out of 7. By the time you're my age, you will probably have changed your mind. That sounds good. You will probably change your mind. No, by the time. So, no, it's by the time. We're going to use future perfect. I think it's the first one. You would probably change your mind. No, you are probably changing it. No. By the time. No, so we're talking about at that point in the future. This is what will have happened by then. No, so we use future perfect. You will probably have changed your mind. Yeah, okay. 8 out of 8. It's going well. I don't know what I was worried about. You'd rather stay at home tonight. Yeah, I think that's fairly easy. No, it's... I'm asking you what you would rather do. No, you would rather stay at home tonight. Wouldn't you? No, you would. The question tag at the end is going to be, wouldn't you? No? Yeah. This is actually not too difficult so far, but I think there are more difficult ones to come. Okay, number 10. I had no sooner told her what I thought of her, I wished I'd held my tongue. Okay. This is a really difficult sort of, almost like an expression, but it's actually a comparative structure, I think. So, I had no sooner told her. So it's the same as saying, as soon as I told her, I wished I hadn't. You know, I wish I'd held my tongue. So, no sooner had I told her what I thought of her than I wished I'd hold my tongue. I think. Yeah! And the clue there is the sooner, no? So it's got that comparative adjective. No sooner than. No? So no sooner had I told her what I thought of her than I wished I'd held my tongue. Yeah, as soon as I told her what I thought of her, I thought to myself, oh, no, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, okay, then. All right, so 10 out of 10 so far, but there are 50 questions. So 11, they live about, from here, an hour of drive, no, a drive hour, an hour's drive, a drive of an hour. Yeah, again, I suppose, you know, if you haven't heard this expression, we would say an hour's drive. They live about an hour's drive from here, so it's about an hour in the car to their house from here. No, an hour's drive. Bit like a hair's breadth, again, the structure, not necessarily obvious. Okay, 12. I can reassure you that everything as quickly as possible will be dealt, will deal with, will be dealt with. So I think what we're looking at here is the the verb deal, and when you have a problem, you deal with a problem. No, I can reassure you that everything, as soon as possible, we're going to use will, definitely. Everything, it's a passive structure, so it's going to be dealt, will be dealt with. Everything will be dealt with as soon as possible. Yeah. Okay, no problems. 13. You must phone us as soon as you... Well, this is actually a problem for a lot of people because obviously if you speak Romance languages, there's a subjunctive tense here, and obviously it doesn't translate well into English, you know, what tense we use for the different subjunctive tenses in, for example, Spanish. Depending on the context, we'll use a different tense. But with as soon as, when, until, before, after, we tend to use present simple. So you must phone us as soon as you get home. Yeah, no problem there. Okay, I benefited a great deal taking that online training course. From, with, for, off. Well, if something has a positive effect on you, or you gain something from doing, you benefit from something. So I benefited a great deal from taking that online training course. Yeah, absolutely. Again, not too difficult. Okay, 15. I've never heard ridiculous speech. As such, a, so, so. Well, you could say I've never heard a speech so ridiculous. You could say that speech is so ridiculous that I can't believe it. But no, the structure here, when you have an adjective, noun, such a. Yeah, I've never heard such a ridiculous speech. Okay, so far so good. Not too difficult, to be honest. 35 questions to go, though. There are going to be some tricky ones. So, 16. I'm sure he only said those things for annoying me, to my annoyance, to annoy me, for annoy me. Well, this is purpose. Why did he say those things to me? With the, you know, in order to annoy me. Yeah, I think, again, not too difficult, to be honest. If this is a C2 grammar test, I'm I'm more than ready. Okay, 17. It was the collapse of the dot-com boom that finally did with him, out him, for him, off him. It was the collapse of the dot-com boom that finally did with him, did out him, did for him. I think there's something missing there, surely. So you, so okay, all right. I'm assuming this is a person who had some kind of business that was doing well during the dot-com, like the boom of the internet, and then collapsed. His business then collapsed. So, but I've got a problem here. So, did with him? That finally did with him? That's not right. No, finally like ruined him. That finally destroyed him, I suppose, is what we're trying. Did out him. Something can outdo you, but not do out you. Something can outdo you, to outperform you, to perform better than you. Wouldn't really make sense in this context either. Did for him? I don't know. You could say did it for him. There's something missing here, I think. Did for him? Did it for him? But that would be a good thing, even if we did have it, that finally did it for him. Well, it could be like the final straw, the thing that made him take the decision. But there's something missing here. So if I get this wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not accepting it. It doesn't make sense. Did off him? Did him off? There's something missing. Finally did him off, maybe, you could say. It, like, killed him, essentially. Figuratively, I suppose. I'm going to go with off, but I don't think the sentence is correct. Yeah, so what is it? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. No, I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that. That sentence does not make sense. It was the collapse of the dot-com boom that finally did for him. No, it would be did it for him. Did it for him. That was like the final straw. It was the thing that made him decide, yeah, I need to do something else. I need to close my business or something. Yeah, that's not an incorrect answer. I knew that it had to be did it for him. There's something missing there. That's definitely a mistake. Yeah, that's definitely a mistake. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, did off him doesn't make sense, but I thought maybe they were thinking did him off. Finally, like, destroyed him. Or did it for him. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to move on. But I am saying I've got 17 out of 17. I'm not accepting that one. No way. Not in a million years. Okay. 18. You to change your mind about handing in your notice. We would be happy for you to stay with us. Should, unless, if, were. I think a lot of people would say if here, but you've got to be careful because it says you to change your mind. And I think a lot of people might say should. And both of those would be correct without to. So you could say, should you change your mind about handing in your notice, which is a bit more formal than saying, if you change your mind about handing in your notice, we would be happy for you to stay with us. So in this case, I think it would be, were you to? No, it's kind of like a subjunctive, a leftover from the subjunctive that we used to have. Were you to change your mind about handing in your notice, we would be happy for you to stay with us. Yeah, that one sounds better. Yeah, and it means the same as should you change your mind or if you change your mind. It's hypothetically, were you to, we would be happy for you to stay with us. Okay. He should have spent all the weekend preparing for his test. He, in fact, just lay in bed watching videos. However, he should have, nevertheless, whereas, despite. However, no. Nevertheless, no. Whereas, no, while he should have been doing one thing, whereas he should have spent all weekend preparing for the test, he in fact just lay in bed watching videos. Yeah, okay, number 20. Unfortunately, their house, while they were at the restaurant celebrating their anniversary, while they were in the restaurant celebrating their anniversary, had burgled, no, got burgled, went burgled, passive got, no, their house got burgled. Their house got burgled. That's what happened to their house. Somebody went into the house and stole their possessions. Okay, no problem there. 21. The president resigned. The whiff of scandal remained. Very topical. The whiff of scandal remained, therefore, otherwise, immediately, nevertheless. So it's like, even so, even though the president resigned, the smell, the whiff of scandal remained. So nevertheless, I think is the answer there. Nevertheless, even so, no, even though he resigned. Yeah, okay. We promised to keep in touch. Happened to us in life. We promised to keep in touch whenever, whatever, however, wherever. Well, we're talking about things happening to us now, so whatever. No, I think whatever happened to us in life. Actually, I'm just going to put my phone on Don't Disturb. And I'm back. God, you just can't be this popular, you know. It's dangerous. Okay. Good. So we're on 22. 23. The more I get to know him, the much lesser I like him. The more I get to know him, the less I like him. No? No? Yeah, I don't think there's any other option there. It's as this increases, this decreases. Yeah, no two ways about that. Okay, 24. Try as I couldn't turn the key. Okay, this is an expression, either you know it or you don't. Try as I might, try as I should, try as I could, try as I would. Yeah, it means no matter how hard I tried. Try as I might, I couldn't turn the key. I kept trying, but the key just wouldn't turn in the lock. So, there you go. Okay, 25. The old lady came near to, of pneumonia, but to everyone's amazement, she pulled through. Near to death, dying, being dead of pneumonia. She came close to dying. She came close to dying of pneumonia. She came close to doing this activity, no? Dying of pneumonia. It's essentially a noun phrase, isn't it? Even though it's a verb, it's a noun phrase. So she came close to what? What did she come close to? Dying of pneumonia. But to everyone's amazement, she recovered. She pulled through. That's a nice story with a happy ending. Okay, if the decision, before he arrived, he would have been furious. Careful, he would have been furious. If the decision was taken, was being taken, would have been taken, had been taken. So this is a third conditional, and in the conditional clause we're going to use present perfect. No, past perfect is what we're going to use. So if the decision had been taken before he arrived, he would have been furious. But we waited for him to arrive and then we made the decision together. No, so he wasn't furious and everyone was happy. Another happy ending. Great. 27. He crept in. His parents should wake. Ooh. That is very difficult. So he came into the house very quietly because he was worried that his parents would wake up. So he crept in, lest otherwise, whereby, unless. Yeah, again, I think either you know it or you don't. Bit of a formal expression. He crept in, lest his parents should wake up. So yeah, good. This time next week, I won't be in a stuffy office. On a beach in Spain. I'll have lain. I'll be lying. I'm lying. I'll lie. Well, we're talking about what you will be doing. No, I think this time next week. So we're talking about a point in the future and what you will be doing at that time. Yeah, it has to be future continuous. No, I'll be lying on a beach in Spain. Yeah, no problem there. Capital punishment was done in Britain nearly half a century ago. So this is a phrasal verb to basically mean abolish, no? Eliminate something. Get rid of. Was done out for, off by, away with, over from. Yeah, capital punishment was done away with in Britain nearly half a century ago. Okay, very good. Let's continue. Number 30. I can't imagine any reason he should have behaved in such an extraordinary way. I can't imagine any reason for that. Why? How? I can't imagine any reason why he should have behaved in such an extraordinary way. Yeah, I don't understand why. I can't imagine any reason why he should have behaved in such an extraordinary way. This is not too difficult, actually, is it? I had no difficulty. Their house, although they had said that people often did, that often people did have difficulty. But I had no difficulty to find, to finding, finding, for finding. I had no difficulty doing something. Yeah, you put the verb in ing after the expression of have no difficulty. I had no difficulty finding In such a plight is like a bad situation, no? In such a plight that we had no choice but to radio for help. In such a plight we found ourselves. We ourselves found. Did we find ourselves? Did we ourselves find? In such a plight did we find ourselves. So this is what I think we call this. What do we call? We call this inversion, I think. Basically, it takes the form of an interrogative sentence, even though it isn't one. So we do this with sort of adverbial phrases a lot of the time. Quite difficult to explain in a short couple of sentences. But yeah, I think the answer here is, in such a plight did we find ourselves that we had no chance. We had no choice but to radio for help. So we found ourselves in such a difficult situation that we had to radio for help. Okay, good. Next one. 33. His grandfather often dozes, so he often falls asleep. He sort of, dozes in front of the TV after dinner. Dozes out, dozes over, dozes off, dozes in. We also talk about nodding because your head starts leaning forward like that. We talk about nodding off or dozing off. So he often dozes off in front of the TV after dinner. Yeah, no problems there. No offense intended. I think you haven't understood the problem correctly. No offense intended if, when, as, but. So I think this is like you would say just initially, before I say what I'm going to say, I don't mean to offend you, but I think you haven't understood the problem correctly. I think it's but, no? Yeah, good, no problem. Again, God, I'm killing it. I'm surprised at how few problems there have been, to be honest. Kevin will do well in the job. He stays on the right side of the boss. So he'll have no problems in the job if he doesn't annoy the boss, essentially. And he stays in his good books. He stays on the right side of him, on his right side. As far as soon as long as well as. Well, yeah, fairly simple again. It's as long as. Kevin will do well in the job as long as he stays on the right side of the boss. So long as is another way of saying it, but yeah, not too difficult. Okay, 36. Only on very rare occasions, an appearance before midday. Would make the old lady, would the old lady make, the old lady would make, the old lady make would. Okay, so I think we've got sort of inversion again. So we've got this kind of negative connotation adverbial phrase to start the sentence. Only on very rare occasions, so not very often, but sometimes, only in, on scarce occasions, rare occasions. And again, it takes the interrogative form, even though it's not a question. Would the old lady make an appearance? Only on very rare occasions would the old lady make an appearance before midday. Normally, she wouldn't be out before, or she wouldn't appear before 12 o'clock at midday. Yeah, okay. 37. Why do you object to, he'll be an asset to the company? Him being taken on, he being taken on, he be taken on, him be taken on. So why, essentially, do you object to this, a noun phrase, and it's a passive noun phrase because it's basically him, this person, being contracted, being given a job by the company, and to contract, to give a job to someone is to take them on, to hire them, no? So, as it's a noun phrase, it's going to have an ing in the verb. So yeah, I think it's the first one. No, why do you object to him being taken on? You could also say his being taken on. More formally, perhaps. Good. So, why do you object to him being... He'll be an asset to the company. He'll be a good thing for the company, no? Yeah. Okay, 38. James is staying with while he is in New York. Their son, Nick Green, will then come back with James for a few weeks over here. God, that's long-winded, complicated story there. Is staying with... okay, Green. Okay, it's the family of the people whose surname is Green. So he's staying with the Greens while he is in New York. Their son, Nick Green, will then come back with James. Yeah, I see why they had to mention that Green was a surname there in the rest of the story. Otherwise, it wouldn't make much sense. Yeah, James is staying with the Greens, with the Green family. Yeah. 39. No one wants to have extra homework tonight. No one wants this. Negative affirmative sentence. Nobody wants this. Do they? Yeah, we're talking about people. Yeah. Do they? Do they? Nobody wants extra homework tonight, do they? We don't know if it's men or women, so do they? Good. 40. In such a complex situation as this, mistakes happen occasionally. Bound to. Mistakes are inevitable. Mistakes are bound to happen occasionally. In such a complex situation as this, mistakes are bound to happen occasionally. It's inevitable. It's unavoidable. Mistakes will happen in situations like this. Yeah, they are bound to happen. All right, 41. Your house repainted every year. Okay, so we've got the passive have here. So have you your house painted? Have you got? Do you have? Have you been? Okay, so present simple, I think, because we're talking about every year. And it's the passive have. Do you have your house repainted every year, I think? Again, no problems, gosh. Golly. 42. All the children are allowed, exactly what they like. Do, to do, doing, for doing. All the children are allowed to do exactly what they like. Wow. Again, not very difficult. 43. Women had to fight hard to gain an equality, the equality, her equality. Women is plural there, so no. Or nothing. To gain an uncountable noun. Equality in general, we're not talking about a specific equality. Yeah, it's nothing. There's no article. God, I'm surprised at how easy this has been, to be honest. 44. With being so busy both at work and at home, she became increasingly tired and bad-tempered. Where, which, how, what? Okay, right, yeah, okay. So this expression, we say, it's almost like an interjection. It's like, well, she's so busy both at work and at home. Yeah, we say, what with being so busy at work and at home? Yeah. You don't need the what with, really. You could just say, being so busy. No, you could have one of those sentences. God, my brain is going. I can't remember what we call them. Oh, whatever. Clause. Something clause. Why? Duh. Participle clause. There you go. Yeah, you could just say, being so busy, both at work and at home, she became increasingly tired and bad-tempered. Yeah. What with being so busy? Yeah. Okay. 45. Bob couldn't, a moustache to the photo of his headmaster in the newspaper. Resist adding, resist to add, resist from adding, resist for adding. So he couldn't resist something. It's a noun phrase, so the verb takes ing again. So he couldn't resist adding a mustache to the photo of his headmaster in the newspaper. Yeah, not too difficult. Okay, we've got 5 more. Number 46. I borrowed a bike and went into town in the lunch break. I borrowed a friend of my bike. Your bike doesn't have friends. A friend's of my bike. A friend's of mine bike. A friend of mine's bike. A friend of mine is a person. No. And I borrowed his bike. So I borrowed a friend of mine's bike. Yeah. I find very strange that Mina has not been promoted yet. That, her, it, them. I find the situation strange. No, I find the fact that she hasn't been promoted yet. She's such a good worker. I find it very strange. I find it very strange. Yeah, no problem. Please come and see me. Day you like. Every, all, any, some. I think it's like saying whenever you like on the day that you want to come. So come and see me any day you like, I think. No? Yeah. Okay. Number 49. Thank you so much. I haven't been to party for ages. The so enjoyable, such an enjoyable party for ages. I haven't been to such an enjoyable party for ages. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I haven't been to a party that is so enjoyable. That was so enjoyable for ages. But no, yeah, again, we've got this enjoyable party. No, we've got adjective noun, such an enjoyable party. Yeah, really not difficult. If you can win his attention, for you, the better so much the better, the so much better, so the better, so much, the so the much better. Yeah, this is just an expression which means that something, that would be the best outcome for you, no? If you can win his attention, so much the better for you. I'm surprised at how easy it was. I'm very disappointed at this. It says 49 out of 50 when I clearly got 50, and that is a lie. But anyway, I expect a lot of you did pretty well here. I didn't think it was too difficult, to be honest. I don't know if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments, I guess, below. But I don't know. Hopefully I'll find something more challenging for you tomorrow.